Welcome back, warriors. This is me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I know this is unusual for me to go live at 1 p.m., okay? But there was such breaking news regarding a tsunami. I'm sure you guys have heard about the earthquake that took place off of the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia, 8.8 on the Richter scale, and rumbling across the Pacific. And there was evacuations and everything called, advisories called, saying that all of the Hawaiian Islands were in trouble. But since then, things have pretty much calmed down, and it was nowhere near as bad as initially perceived. Okay, but before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications so you never miss a video. Stick around to the end. Let's get into it. Now, I'm also going to talk about other things. Oprah Winfrey's name came up because of this whole tsunami mess, because she actually has a home and estate on the island of Maui. But I'm going to share some information from some hours ago, and then I'm going to give you updates just in case you are new to this story. So look here. This is coming by way of Nick Sorter. He says, breaking. This is 12 hours ago, guys. People on Maui, Hawaii, trying to escape the tsunami are begging Oprah, and I'm going to say allegedly to all of this because since this report, Oprah Winfrey has clapped back, saying that she did not do what people are saying that she did. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a moment. It says people on Maui, Hawaii, trying to escape the tsunami are begging Oprah to open her private road to higher ground, and she's still refusing. Time is running out. Oprah's road is marked blue. The only other route to higher ground is the red route, and it is gridlocked. Open the road from Wailea. Maui government should force it open if they have to. And this is the area in red. That's the higher ground. Now that Oprah's area is marked off in blue at the bottom. So they're saying that the roads were closed and she would not let anyone in. It says Oprah's road is open according to the Maui Police Department. So now they said it's open. Breaking: Oprah's private road from Wailea to Kula is shut. The route could have helped coastal residents escape to higher ground. Hawaii is under tsunami warning. Why block an evacuation path? But down here it says Oprah's road is open according to the Maui Police Department. All right. And you remember when Maui was burned, basically, and it was the area me and my husband had visited back in, it happened in June of 23. We had just left Maui. And Oprah, along with The Rock, were asking for donations. Okay. And we're like, why are you guys who have a lot of money? Oprah's a billionaire herself. Why don't you give donations? It's really ridiculous. And so anyway, this is just some footage of the waves. This looks wild, guys. Look at the waves. Look at that. This is crazy. Wow. Okay. Can you guys hear that? I think I lost sound here. Okay, maybe there was no sound at this point. Okay. Ah! Whoa! Can you actually imagine? Look at all of that water. Look at all of that water. Wow, this is just flooding. Crazy. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Hawaii is beautiful. Hawaii is so beautiful, but they tend to have a lot of issues, guys. Woo! Massive. That is massive. And I just want to give you an update on that in case you're new to it. But so much has been happening with this tsunami. It says the tsunami warnings after the 8.8. It was really 8.8, not 8.7. Everyone's hoping that they are safe. There was rumblings across coming from Russia. Again, there was an earthquake off of the Kamchatka, hope I'm pronouncing that right, Peninsula off of Russia, rumbling across the Pacific. And look at the water here.
Yes, sir. Now we getting somewhere. Ocean coming to the front door. All right. Plants are being dragged out.
That's a lot of
We're not
water.
going to see
Looks
those
like the
again.
whole place is a swimming pool.
All right.
Okay. And so these are the higher ground areas. And as you can see, Oprah's Road is at the bottom. It's, you know, marked off in blue, and the only other route that's higher ground. And these are the higher ground areas where people wanted to escape to. And again, Oprah Winfrey is denouncing those comments. Here is something right here. It says that she was busy doing podcasts where she was. So let's hear what she's saying. I don't hear anything right here. Okay, there's no sound with this. Okay. Open the road, Oprah. All right, so they're saying that she was busy doing podcasts while everybody was suffering under these massive tsunamis. Showed you that one. Look at this area right here. Awful. This is from a helicopter. Crazy. Now, there have been updates since then. And it says, you know, people were trying to escape, but there have been updates. The update is, while a tsunami warning was initially issued for all of the Hawaiian Islands, the threat was later downgraded to an advisory and evacuations were lifted. While some flooding and strong currents were observed, widespread damage was not reported. Tsunami waves did impact various islands, including Oahu and the Big Island, but the waves were smaller than initially feared. And there's a more detailed breakdown. There was an initial warning, and I'm just going to also share this with you so you can actually see what I am referring to. All right, so this is the initial warning. A large earthquake off the coast of Russia triggered a tsunami warning for Hawaii, prompting evacuations in some areas, particularly on the Big Island and Oahu. There was a downgraded threat. The warning was downgraded to an advisory as the initial waves reached Hawaii and were found to be smaller than initially predicted, which is great. Observed impacts. Flooding was reported in some coastal areas, particularly in parking lots and harbors. Wave heights were recorded at several locations, including Kahului, Hawaii at 4.9 feet, and Hilo, Hawaii at 4 feet. Some areas in Oahu, including Waikiki, experienced flooding. There was no widespread damage. The advisory remains. While the warning was lifted, a tsunami advisory remains in place, meaning that strong currents and dangerous waves are still possible, and people should exercise caution near the coast. Okay, so everybody exercise caution. How are you guys doing? Alex, hello. Alex Zuri, Sean Shaggy, hello. Mega Tamara, Jackie Andrews, hello, everybody. I just had to do this live because I saw what was going on in the earthquakes. And it also said that an alert was sent to California, Oregon, Alaska, Japan were also on alert as waves rolled, but fortunately no major damages were reported. And again, this was an 8.8 massive earthquake off of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, triggered tsunami waves all through the Pacific. Okay, and there was reports, not saying that they are true, that Oprah Winfrey, you know, the billionaire, had her road closed and initially refused to open it. Now, I have reports of what she is saying. She is saying that that was not the case. She is lashing back, saying that those reports were not true. And this is coming by way of Fox News. It says Oprah Winfrey is pushing back against accusations that a private road on her Maui estate was kept closed as local residents tried to flee to safety during a tsunami evacuation. A spokesperson for the billionaire shut down the accusations and said the claims are not true. As soon as we heard the tsunami warnings, we contacted local law enforcement and FEMA to ensure the road was opened, and any reports otherwise are false, a spokesperson for Winfrey shared in a statement with Fox News Digital. Okay, All right, so they're saying it's not true. Local law enforcement are currently on site helping residents through 50 cars at a time to ensure everyone's safety. The road will remain open as long as necessary. A tsunami warning was issued overnight, prompting evacuations and urgent efforts to reach higher ground across parts of the Hawaiian island. Rumors quickly circulated online that suggested residents were unable to pass through a private gated road on Winfrey's property. Here she is. A video shared on social media showed a man in his vehicle allegedly outside the former TV host's property with police guarding the area. Come on, Oprah, save us, the guy was heard saying in the video. Wow. And it says Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Wednesday that after speaking with Hawaii Governor Josh Green, the evacuation order has been lifted for coastal inundation zones, but everyone should still practice caution on coastal areas. It states, please be careful when returning and watch out for damage. We will continue to monitor in Hawaii, Alaska, and California. She added, her statement comes after a tsunami triggered by an 8.8 magnitude earthquake off the east coast of Russia reached Hawaii on Tuesday evening. Okay, and this isn't the first time Winfrey's expansive Maui property has been the subject of scrutiny. We know a lot of things about Oprah Winfrey, all right? We know I don't want to get into it in this video. There's been a lot of things circulating about Oprah and what she's involved with in this infamous network of certain types of people who do certain things. It's that last June, 2 19-year-old men were arrested in a public road in Hawaii that ran through Winfrey's property and were suspected of illegal hunting, officials said at the time. And it says the Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources identified the men as Luke Allen and Ty Munoz, both of upcountry Maui. So it looks like things have been lifted, but people are still to remain cautious, and things were not as bad as initially expected, which is good news because we don't want anyone to be hurt. We absolutely do not. And I have some other news that I definitely want to share with you. You guys, remember when we're switching gears here, Democratic National Convention, the DNC, looks like they're having some financial trouble. Now, I am going to read some information off of Grok here, and let me get to the other page. I'm going to read you this information, and I'm just going to say allegedly because it's kind of like hard to really verify information. But anyway, in any event, this is what Grok says. The Democratic National Committee, DNC, is facing financial challenges. They are facing financial challenges. And if you remember, ActBlue had been under major scrutiny, but it is not entirely accurate to say that the DNC is broke. According to reports, the DNC has been struggling with fundraising, particularly in 2025. In June 2025, the DNC raised $8.6 million compared to the Republican National Committee, RNC, of $16.2 million. And this is because Kamala Harris's campaign was given $2.5 billion. And she paid a ton of money to people like Oprah, Beyonce, and others. She paid money for them, like she was paying for an endorsement. And they are really, literally struggling for money right now. They're having financial problems. A lot of donors no longer want to seemingly donate. I'll say allegedly again. It doesn't seem like people want to donate because the DNC still has to pay back that money because Kamala Harris, clearly, we already know she lost. And it says over this first 6 months of 2025, the DNC raised over $50 million, but only 3 donors contributed $100,000 or more in the first 4 months, indicating a drop in major donations. The New York Times reported that the DNC is considering taking out a loan due to these financial strains, and labor leaders representing 2.3 million union members have expressed concerns about the DNC's ability to move forward under its current leadership. Now, this is going to hurt them next year into the midterms. It's just going to definitely hurt them. However, the DNC is still operational, investing in infrastructure for upcoming elections and maintaining grassroots efforts. Claims on X and some outlets suggest the DNC's financial woes may be linked to the shutdown of USAID funding, implying that the DNC relied on taxpayer money funneled through NGOs. But these claims lack verified evidence and should be treated as speculative. Historically, the DNC has faced financial difficulties before, such as in 2015, when it had $7.6 million in cash, $6.2 million in debts, yet it continued to function. In short, the DNC is under financial pressure. So they are, according to Grok, I'll say allegedly still, it looks like they're under financial pressure with lower cash reserves and fundraising challenges compared to the RNC, but it's not bankrupt and continues to operate. And I'll also read something else. It says ActBlue, a major Democratic fundraising platform, is currently facing several challenges based on recent reports. So ActBlue, that fundraising platform, not doing so well. Okay, it's just not doing well. And it says it's a major Democratic fundraising platform. This ActBlue is currently facing several challenges based on recent reports, congressional investigations, and allegations of fraud. ActBlue is under scrutiny from Republican-led congressional committees, House Administration, Judiciary, and Oversight, investigating potential fraud, including illegal donations from foreign sources and straw donations made in the name of others. And remember when I did that video on Sheldon Daniels, he is going up against Jasmine Ghetto Crockett for Texas District 30, which is the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. And he went and knocked on the door of this elderly couple on a fixed income. It looked like they donated $16,000 to Kamala Harris, but they did not. They said they did not, and they're retired. They're both retired, fixed income. No way they donated $16,000 to Kamala Harris. That was, I'm sorry, not Kamala Harris, Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is what I meant to say. All right, so it says, let's see, allegations of fraud. A joint interim report alleges that ActBlue relaxed its fraud prevention measures in 2024 with internal documents suggesting the platform detected but did not adequately address fraudulent activities, including 237 donations from foreign IP addresses using domestic prepaid cards in a 30-day period. Now, I wonder if this is going to affect all of those riots and things that we've been seeing out of the streets, not saying that they can't get their money from other sources, but you know, the allegations of those people like GS and Walmart, Harris, and all of that, internal turmoil and staff departures. So they are having a lot of problems with the DNC, with their money. Okay, a lot of issues with their money. And you know what? I don't mind them having issues with their money because they're wicked to us. Okay, now I wanted to share something with you. Hi, guys. I want to say hello. Hello, Jackie Andrews again. Oh, I see Barb and Deanne. Okay. Hello, and Iron Ear. Hello, guys. Yes, I'm doing something different. I thought I would just go ahead and give you guys a live at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is like way early. I'm not going to be live tonight at 9:30. I'm not going to go live tonight at 9:30, guys. I've got a project I've got to work on. I got to rewrite a script. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to let you know that I will not be on tonight. Now, this is President Trump right here. He is declassifying information, all of the FBI files regarding that Russia hoax. Okay, we know that there was some mess going on with that, some shenanigans. It says Hillary Clinton may finally face prison. This is 15 hours ago. We're not really expecting that. Maybe Trump orders full declassification. President Trump has just ordered the immediate release of all FBI files related to Crossfire Hurricane, which is the infamous Russian collusion investigation. This means John Durham's report confirms in August 2016, then CIA Director John Brennan briefed Obama and Biden on Clinton's plan to falsely link Trump to Russia. They knew, they approved, they watched it unfold. Hillary Clinton's campaign engineered the biggest political hoax in American history, the weaponization of intelligence agencies, the corruption of the FBI and DOJ, a conspiracy to undermine a sitting U.S. president now exposed in black and white. Ooh, Yes, let's hear it.
Next, sir, we have a presidential memorandum for your attention. This memorandum requires the immediate declassification of all FBI files relating to the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. This was obviously one of the instances of the weaponization of law enforcement powers of prosecution against you and others. We believe that it's long past time for the American people to have a full and complete understanding of what exactly is in those files.
Which gives the media the right to go in and check it. You probably won't bother because you're not going to like what you see. But this was total weaponization. It's a disgrace. Should never happen in this country. But now you'll be able to see for yourselves, all declassified. Is that correct? Would you say all declassified?
Yes, sir.
Everything?
The FBI file with there's a classified annex, but other than that, this will put everything in the public eye.
Is anybody going to look? What about you? You going to look? And frankly, the FBI should be ashamed of themselves, and so should the Department of Justice, and so should Biden. Okay.
Yes, they should be ashamed of themselves because everything is coming to light. I feel like there's a switch going on, like there is a change in things. I know we've been disappointed for so long thinking that this is going to be declassified. We're going to find out about this and everything else. But maybe I like to hold out for hope. I don't want to be too cynical. I don't want to be overly optimistic. I don't want to get my feelings hurt or be crushed or disappointed. But I do feel like some level of exposure, even if there is no actual prison time, at least some exposure so that people can know and recognize more of what is going on is still a win. You know, we may not get everything, handcuffs, the perp walk, you know, all of that. We may not get all of that. We probably won't. Even though I said in another interview, video, I said, I believe it's going to be something. Something's going to happen. Okay. Absolutely. Something is definitely going to happen. We should never, ever give up hope. Okay. Because right now you've got Obama, Brennan, Comey, Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice. You've got all these people. And will we ever hear, and something came out about Ghislaine Maxwell too. Let me just find that, the co-conspirator for JE. Yes, the co-conspirator. Let's see what we got here with that. Let's see what we have here. Oh, let's see the latest. Well, I'm just going to read some things about Ghislaine Maxwell, okay? There's a good podcast by a guy who got to speak to Douglas Lee's son. Okay, I don't know about that. Let's see. Instead of the closed-door hush-hush part in dealing with Ghislaine, who was on the list, put the FBI agents under Biden who destroyed these files into questioning. While AG Pound Bondi said repeatedly it was on her desk. I can't read some of these things, guys. Because they were trying to say that Trump is actually in the files, but I wonder if there's a difference between the files and the list, because in the files you would have attorneys, victims, whistleblowers. A lot of people can be in the files, but what about the client list, if there is such thing? Because hedge fund donors, President Trump mentioned hedge fund donors. He mentioned Bill Clinton. He mentioned Bill Gates, I believe. I know he mentioned Bill Clinton. So he said Bill Clinton had been to that island like 28 times and that he had never been to the island. They just have pictures and things of President Trump with, J.E. Jeffrey, but there's no evidence that he was doing anything illegal. Just because you know someone, they may be at the same event that you're at, or maybe you're shaking hands with them or even taking a picture with them. That is not enough evidence to say that someone participated in illegal activity. Okay. And according to reports, Ghislaine Maxwell has given up 100 names. I think the last report I saw was that her immunity was denied. I saw she was going to get partial immunity. I'll check up on that because you get different reports. You kind of like, they're all over the place. They're all over the place, really. I don't think she should get any kind of lesser time because she was instrumental in doing what she did, and it was horrific. And her being a woman doing this to young girls, leading them to him, according to the reports that we're hearing, that is disgusting. I cannot even imagine how anybody would even think. But I kind of get it, because if you give her a little something, then that means you could go after the rest of them so that they won't continue doing what they are doing. And there are, I don't know how many, maybe even thousands of very rich people who are doing these horrific things. You guys tell me what you think about that. Should Ghislaine Maxwell get some type of lesser sentence, some sort of immunity? Should she get anything for cooperating and turning over these other horrible people, or should she not? But keep in mind, if she does turn over them, that means more people are going to be prosecuted and put in prison. You have less people like that can continue doing that evil stuff. So let me see what you guys are saying. Yes, just for Jesus, disgusting. Yes, had to go out into the world and do some adulting, but now home, okay, trying to avoid this heat. Yes, I am in Georgia, you guys. I stopped watching Oprah a long time ago. Yes, Oprah. Yeah, Oprah is something up with that school in Africa that she opened. I don't trust Bill Clinton. I don't trust that school is on the up and up. That's what I'll say. Bill Clinton gave Jeffrey presidential pardons back in '99. CNN was live cable, had Clinton hugging young blonde on the island. I'm sorry, on the plane inside the doorway. It was disgraceful then, but crickets. Ghislaine should be prosecuted as well. I think so too. She should just give us the information that we need. Okay, I think it was Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, that was interviewing her, and I'm going to do another video on her because we need. I want to know what she said. Oh my gosh! I mean, we got to pray for people's safety, like Tulsi Gabbard. We got to pray for her because the whole Russia thing she's uncovering, and now things have been declassified, as you saw with the video with Trump and Stephen Miller, and we gotta pray that Ghislaine, we know she did some horrific things. I am not sugarcoating it, but I don't want anything to happen to her because I want her to spill the beans, but I want her to tell the truth. Okay, because according to things I've heard, a lot of Democrats are allegedly on that list. They are implicated. Okay, they are very much implicated. You said I have Linda sped up so I can catch up. Okay. All right, that is good. And let's see what else you're saying. Trump kicked rear this last trip. MAGA. MAGA, what else you're saying? Set a hard line and don't budge. Also make sure he repeats back what instructions you give him. Okay, all right. That's what you're saying. Point is so often on display, but then it's never addressed until the seriousness takes years to be revealed. Victims are real. And I even saw on, I think it was the I think it was CNN. Actually, did you guys see that recently where they had a woman who said that Trump did inappropriate things with her back in the day, and she was on CNN? I saw that and I was like, I don't believe it, because where were you all this other time? You know what I mean? Like, we got to look at, why now? Why you got to say something now? The Democrats are going to try and dig up things because they know that they are truthfully guilty, and they're going to try and make it look like Trump is guilty of the things that they are doing or were doing. And so I could expect that from them because that's who they are. I mean, that's literally who they are. All they do is fearmonger, accuse people of what they actually do, race bait, play the victim card, do all the horrible things. I cannot begin to tell you why I am so sick of these people and how they have people that I love so entirely brainwashed. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm tired of people acting like, well, I can say anything. I can say, well, Biden had connections to a former KKK member and spoke at his funeral, and they're going to say, well, so I'm like, what? But yet, if Trump gets a parking ticket, you guys are like raising hell, literally. You're just raising. That's just stupid. And yeah, Iron Ear, you said this fake news. I think is fake as well because remember President Trump's. It was last year when his nephew, I want to say Fred Trump, came out and said that Trump is an atomic racist. Nobody believed him. He was literally trying to sell a book. I did a video on it. It happened. I don't know what month it happened, but it was last year. So a lot of people will try and sell a book. A lot of people are paid to do things that are absolutely horrific. Jennifer Jesus, you're saying, I do not trust anyone on the left anymore. No one. Ghislaine needs accountability. Absolutely. Valerie McMullen, agreed. Jackie Andrews, understanding the nastiness, not wanting accountability by certain persons, believing entitled becomes warfare. You are covering so much news today. Linda, keep up the great work. I am trying. Okay, I am trying to stay. Now, you guys, you know my husband, I've just given my job. I just want to give a little personal info here right now. I've given him a job. He's going to be editing my videos. I can't record, do videos and thumbnails, and do my research. That's a lot of work. And cross posting on other platforms like TikTok and Instagram. So we're going to see how Cal does. You said E. Jean Carroll accused another billionaire of SA in the 90s. Now, I did a video on her last year, and I did see that E. Jean Carroll has a history of accusing men of SA. It was like a list of 20 or 21 men. I think it's 21 men. And there is something wrong with that woman. Okay, there is something terribly wrong. I mean, she was on CNN with Anderson Cooper. She said something off and weird, and he was like, and they went to break. Something is wrong with that woman. I'm telling you, and I'm glad you mentioned it because they're going after him, accusing him of these heinous things to try and cripple him. And it didn't work because people on the conservative side, we tend to do more digging and more our homework and research. We don't just go with what the liberal media spews. And we've learned that if the liberal media likes someone, then we don't need to trust them. Okay, when they whine and scream like with Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth, we know those are good choices. Tulsi Gabbard, they were like, no, screaming from the pits of hell. It says the judge in E. Jean versus Trump was appointed by Clinton and dismissed Prince Andrew's case of SA while he went to the island. As long as this country maintains ties to Israel, United States will always be linked to an evil agenda. Oh. You know, as a believer, I will just say this. As a believer, I'm always kind of like torn because we're supposed to, support Israel. We are supposed, but that doesn't necessarily mean the Israeli government. I believe it means the people, not the ones in government. Okay, the people of Israel, the ones who try to live their lives as best they know how, and more Jewish people are coming to faith. So we should some kind of way not support the government of Israel, but the people of Israel, the Jews, the Jews in spirit, the ones that try to live a moral life, not people who are just Jewish, because the Bible even talks about people who say they're Jews and they're not Jews. The true people of Israel are the people of faith. Those are the children of Abraham. Yes, he does. I do. He's amazing. Cal is an amazing husband. Let's see what else I have. Vicky Lamb. I think it's because no one wants to admit that they have been lied to. Yeah, I can do it. I don't care. I'll call myself a knucklehead. I'll call myself being absolutely ridiculously stupid. But not everybody can talk about themselves like that. That grape was, I know she did say that. She did say that. Did she say that? Oh my gosh. E.Jean Carroll does have some issues and has a history of accusing certain executives. But you know, the demon rats don't care about the truth. So as long as you're able to sit up there, because some people don't have discernment, they literally cannot tell when someone is lying and when they can tell, you know, trust someone, whether they would actually trust the person that is telling the lies. They won't trust the person telling the truth. Mark Twain, it is easier to trick a man than to convince him he has been tricked. Yes, Jackie Andrews, you, Linda, are one busy lady, but you've been blessed with platform. Lord calls you to thanks for doing it so well. Thank you so much, Jackie Andrews. That makes me feel so good. It says, let me see what you're saying, Iron Ear. EJC, Scare Anderson Cooper talking about that. Yeah, that's the clip. We're talking about the same clip because he was like, what in the world is wrong with this woman? She's got issues, guys. The Bible says, otherwise we follow scripture, no man's opinion. Vicky Lamb, so true. I support them, just want to get America to clean house first. Plus, I don't recall seeing Israeli troops next to me in Afghanistan. Israel's army goes out of its way to protect civilians. I thought that too. I was, you know, some people are all over the internet talking about Israel was starving people, was unaliving people, their government is evil. But I was under the impression that they sent out flyers before they bombed and told people to get out of the way. We're sending a strike. You know, that's what I thought. Okay, that's what I believed. And it's just so hard to know the truth anyway. Really haven't heard Cooper quite some time. Yeah, I haven't heard him either. In Just for Jesus, I wonder how many of us have lost loved ones over politics. This past election, I lost a lot of family. I haven't lost family, but I had two friends who literally said they want to take a break from me. They didn't say that they want to end our friendship or anything like that. If that happens, I'll let you know. But I've been friends with someone for a very, very long time, since we were in the 8th grade, and she's having trouble. She said that I stand for things that she finds personally offensive. Hey, Linda B. Hey, Iron Ear. Hey, everyone. Good to see y'all. Gigi from Texas. All right, guys. Let's see what else. What? Any other comments? Oh, the Babylonian bee meme was epic. Israel falls at as they just continue to provide food to Gaza. Okay, they fail it. Yeah, because the media, they're reporting stuff. I mean, it stinks. It is very bad. I mean, we can't trust them. You know what I mean? I mean, we literally cannot trust them. But I have other videos that I have to get on board with doing. I want to make sure you guys don't forget to give me the thumbs up. That really helps my videos go out further into YouTube universe. Comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already, and make sure that you always select the all notification bell. Make sure your notifications work, but make sure you select all. There's a customized option, but select all so you get all of them. And just make sure you have that selected, because it really helps me reach out further into YouTube when you do that, and give me the thumbs up. And that first hour of my video posting means a whole lot. Well, you guys, I've got to run. Thank you guys so much for watching me at an unusual time. Now, remember, I am not doing a live tonight at 9:30, okay? But I'll try to be back tomorrow. I have a project I got to turn in. It is due by August 1st. What's the day? The 30th? Yeah. And I need to get to work on that. But I hate not to be here for you. So I like to give you notice ahead of time, okay? But thank you guys so much for watching this video. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors. Bye-bye, everyone.